nice synergy there. Pretty important, he's playing against Infernoble, so it was very good for him to win the dice roll.
Oh yeah. Pakawat again back with the Infernoble deck. He had very recent success with it. He made top 4 at the last American YCS with it, and he's back with the deck. Both of them have a draw so far, still undefeated in the tournament. And it's Joshua starting, and of course in the Runick Bystial deck you're also playing a small, you cannot even really call it branded engine, right? Because branded always is kind of connected to fusion summoning, but it's just the guiding Quem, the Virtuous, and also the Bystial Aluber, which again is a Bystial card. So the Bystial Runick deck is kind of fitting, but there we send the Blazing Cartesia to the graveyard first of all.
Yeah, it's really weird to see these cards being used in such a unique way, because obviously we always see these with the branded deck. You can fusion summon with the Blazing Cartesia, but Josh, he's not doing that at all. He just wants to use it as a tuner, which it's weird that it even is a tuner to see it, you know.
Yeah.
I suppose most players wouldn't even know, like.
Ooh,
It is a tuner for Lulu Walilith.
Exactly.
And only that purpose.
Indeed, and that is not even the card we are running in our extra deck there. And now we have Hugin onto the field, being summoned off of the Flashing Fire. Hugin, of course, using its effect. And I think we also triggered the effect of Guiding Quem the Witches right away. Oh, but there's Effect Veiler for the Hugin, and that's huge! That's very strong because it will most likely deny access to the Runick Fountain, which Joshua desperately needs to play with his Runick spells on the opponent's turn.
That is true.
You know, Joshua, he does love these grindy decks, and the Bystial cards have access to one of the grindiest cards in the format as well, in the shape of Branded Regain.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Pack may be able to stop him from adding the Runick Fountain, but will he also be able to stop the Branded Regain from making an appearance?
That's true, and that's another really cool new card, the Tri-Edge Master. Originally, usually, you would play Stardust Charge Warrior as a level 6 synchro, but this is just Stardust Charge Warrior with a little add-on. It's actually just a little bit better because it has bonus effects next to the drawing effect.
And this is a card you went absolutely crazy about when you read it the first time. I thought, okay, this is a little bit better than Stardust Charge Warrior, but you just went mayhem.
Yeah, this card is insane, and I still believe it is. And I mean, Joshua Schmidt, the one and only, is playing it, so of course it has to be crazy.
But this card can't attack all monsters your opponent controls once each.
You're right.
So I'm a bit, you know,
Yeah,
not
true.
there for me.
Okay, so that looks like a Synchro 10. Baron. Indeed, Baron de Fleur coming to the field. But still, there was no access to the Runick Fountain. But there we go for the Bystial Magnamut, which we could search off of the Lubellion, and Lubellion will stay in the graveyard there, being available to summon out itself.
It is really good that there is an Effect Veiler in the graveyard of Pakawat, because you would like to use most of your monsters that you have in your graveyard yourself. Now we're going to activate Magnamut, go to Lubellion to tribute it, and get the Branded Regained out, one of the best cards in the game.
Yeah, this is really, really strong stuff. Joshua putting himself into a position to also play on the opponent's turn, to have interaction ready. We are probably going to search Druid Swarm, most likely, I would say. Oh, and Cartesia, of course, also going to trigger in the end phase, adding itself back to the hand.
Yeah, it's so fun seeing these cards used in a different way, because normally they're just glued to the fusion branded archetype.
Yes. It's a unique creation that Joshua is piloting this weekend. It definitely is a bold call bringing this deck, because it's nowhere on the radar, honestly. Runick, in general, has been kind of slapped on lately, so maybe Joshua is the one bringing it back into center attention here this weekend.
I'm wondering, a bit of a weird thing to do, but maybe you could special summon that Baldrake in the end phase and draw a card now.
Just to trigger the regain.
You can't, because this is not a quick effect right now.
Okay, I'm glad you're
correct. Totally correct. Okay, and Pakawat wastes no time, immediately starting off with Heritage of the Chalice, trying to search for one of his Infernoble cards.
I would have also liked a Bystial Baldrake in the end phase, not only because of Branded Regain, but also because you're not playing directly into Triple Tactics Thrust, and you want this on the field because I think the banishing effect is not really that strong right now, but you can put up a negate for a summon.
Yeah, for sure. But to be fair, Triple Tactics Thrust is not really a popular card in those Infernoble Knight strategies.
Yeah. Well, Talon is, though.
Yeah, Talon is, for sure. So, and of course, this is one thing that Pakawat is known for. He basically plays every single card in his deck in the highest rarity possible. I'm confused that Effect Veiler is only Ultra Rare there, to be honest, but that museum is beautiful.
I think this is Quarter Century.
Okay, you might be right, yeah. In this angle, it only looks like Ultra Rare.
Now, you need to trust him.
Oh, but immediately Joshua is responding with the Runick Destruction, and that's so good to immediately get rid of this card. Banishing 4 now as well, of course. There we go. Fireflint Lady is a one-off that is gone there, which might turn out to be a problem later on.
Yeah, this might actually be good for Joshua if he really needs this one more extender that can be special summoned next to a warrior. We have seen this come up earlier on stream, but we're going for the normal summon of Ricardetto now.
Yep. All the Infernoble Knight players we have seen today had to normal summon Ricardetto because we are in Italy, of course. So the Infernoble Knight with the most Italian name has to be used every single game you're playing this deck.
I have had problems with the pronunciation because there is an I in there,
Yeah.
and I never know where, but it is Ricardetto.
Ooh, we also have the Phoenix Blade. Maybe not the card we necessarily wanted there. Just equipping it to the Ricardetto.
On some really good 800 attack points now.
And look at that. We are using Gearfried in hand now, banishing the Phoenix Blade, which is really not what you want, to be honest, because you want that Phoenix Blade in the graveyard and not it being banished.
Is it possible to pick it up with Renaud or Magius?
Oh, we negated that with the Baron. That's followed by Triple Tactic Talons. And Joshua has to look for his graveyard there. Does he respond to this or not?
Oh, does he try to to take something? Yes, we are taking the Baron de Fleur. I think that there might be an Ash Blossom in the hand of Joshua. This would have been an Ash if there was a draw 2 in that effect for Pacawat, but he decides to take the Baron de Fleur. Is able to destroy the Branded Regained, I think. I know.
Yeah, for sure.
And can link off, but what can he link off? And, oh, this is a warrior as well!
You were very excited when you realized that.
Baron de Fleur, just another warrior monster that can lead into Isolde. And now, I think Joshua was originally trying to play around the... Ooh, there comes the Baldrake first of all, though. Understandable, so we can at least draw a card. But Joshua was originally trying to play around Talons by not using the effect of Regain to get back the Magnamoot and then use the effect of Magnamoot. But now it's too late to actually get back Magnamoot, so that might turn out to be a problem in the long run there.
What happened to the...
The Regain was probably popped with Baron, and then Baron attacked over the Baldrake.
Oh, maybe that was a battle phase, yeah. Okay, that would make sense.
Must be.
He just kind of pointed to it. And I was like, why?
They both decided and confirmed that it is going to the graveyard.
But now that is also very exciting as well. We have seen some combo tutorials by our stream already, but now we are just going to see the pure, you only have 2 warrior monsters combo. What can Infernoble Knight put out without a Fireflint Lady and with just Isolde effect?
A big downside here is that sword is banished already, not in the deck, able to be sent to the graveyard. And he can put it back into the deck with Magius, but unfortunately then it will be in the deck and not in your graveyard.
Okay, we do search out Connector, but didn't we normal summon the Ricardetto?
Yeah, you search it out, but you can't use it anyways. If you search it with Isolde, with the first effect, you cannot use the card that you searched.
Yeah, fair enough, true. Okay, but I mean, usually still you might want to go for like Renault or something that you can still just summon out.
Oh, the Ash Blossom, I completely forgot about that.
True.
And this is looking okay now for Joshua Schmidt, because he has 2 cards in hand, which is fair enough. But there is only a Lobelion on the field. I don't think that he is running the Bystial trap card.
He's actually running a second Branded Regain.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, that is good then.
Honestly, yesterday but there's Typhon! Another new addition from Age of Overlords. We've been seeing it a couple of times already throughout the weekend. And now here again, of course, in the most beautiful version of it. And Superstar Slayer Typhon Sky Crisis being summoned. And the continuous effect of the card, of course, is applying here now. So all the monsters with less attack than Typhon will not be able to activate their effects there.
It's more attack.
More attack. Oh, my bad.
Significantly worse in this situation.
In this matchup for sure, yeah.
Also, you can activate the effect to bounce back the Lobelion, which I don't think is what you want to do.
You don't want to do that, no.
Nope. It's already back over to Joshua. It's Josh's turn. What can he do here? He definitely does not have a battle phase because we used the Runick cards. But there's another Lobelion anyway, so we didn't even need it in our hands.
Should have bounced it, I told you.
Yep. Indeed. Okay, so another Bystial is being added to his hand. So is it time for Druid's Worm now? No, it's Saronir again. Okay, fair enough.
I mean, yes, Saronir again. A lot of these cards have kind of bonus effects which you don't really think about when you're playing the usual either the Branded deck or the Bystial deck, but maybe together there's some Bystial card that he particularly wants in his graveyard.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just wants to thin out the deck. Maybe he wants to get into the Runick engine a little bit more. I know that he also has the... We know that he has the Blazing Cartesia, right?
Yeah.
So he can possibly go for a level 10 Synchro. Bystial Baldrake would be really good. Can just attack over the Typhon, right?
Okay, there comes... Okay, we already had
Mystery
Drury's Worm.
solved.
Fair enough. Drury's Worm is there. And another Lubellion is coming. And now Pakawad will realize that there is a second copy.
Hear me out. 38 Harbinger.
Nope, I don't think there are any Exceed monsters in his extra deck. Oh, there is, but it's Super Star Slayer Typhon. That's the only one he's running.
He doesn't want to use 2 monsters to make an XYZ.
Nope. He has better plans with it. And now Pakawad sees that there's a second branded regained. And I wanted to follow up on that. Yesterday, I remember Joshua, right before the end of submission for deck lists, he was thinking and asking himself, do I really want to side deck Branded Beast? Is it worth side decking this card? Because he didn't find space for it in the main deck. And then ultimately he decided it's not worth it. I have already enough of a good matchup versus back row, so Branded Beast is not needed in my deck.
I'm interested. I mean, it looks like he waited to summon the second Lubellion before using the regain. But can you not just use the first one to activate the regained? Your deck?
Yep.
He could have done that indeed.
Possible. Also,
okay.
I want to say something. He put the, I think the name is
Triage Master, yeah.
Triage Master. He put it on top of his extra deck, right? And not under it.
Oh no, what a mistake. Rookie mistake by the world champion himself. No, I mean, when it's going back into the extra deck, it doesn't matter, of course. But that is going to be another Synchro Tan. So we went through Baron, so that's not an option anymore. But maybe Dispater, Chaos Angel, what does he like here?
I mean,
oh no, Chaos Angel is a 12, right?
Oh no, it's not.
Oh no, it's a 10, yeah. Dispater it is, though.
I don't see why you wouldn't run multiple Barons in this deck, honestly. It sounds like this is actually a deck that could play multiple copies of this. Possibly,
yeah. Okay, so we do get the Effect Veiler.
Are we doing a Link Summon now, or are we doing some really cool... Okay,
yep, SP Little Knight coming down here, using the Effect Veiler of Pakawad and also his own copy of Lubellion.
Were you hoping for a rank 9?
I was hoping for Shen Shen, Virtual World QB Shen Shen.
Oh, and that means Pakawad is picking up his cards, and Joshua Schmidt wins game number 1 here between these two legends of the game. And
is he?
In just a second.
It seemed like it.
Calm down, Sebastian.
He already was picking up his cards.
Calm down, okay?
He was just having a little look.
Yeah. It really looked like he was trying to shuffle them back into the deck, but not just yet. Joshua still has to make this happen.
All right, so Joshua is still also with 1 set card, and it is Freezing Curses, which is going to stop the Neospatian Connector. But Puck also knows there is no way my opponent is going to OTK me next turn, because there is no battle phase available for him. So you can just wait it out and maybe find your way into a combo then.
This is such a cool synergy between Regained and the Runick cards, because we just banished an Iburo from our opponent, we made him put it back to the bottom of the deck, and then we can draw a card through our own Regain. So that was huge value off of that 1 Runick card. And then Little Knight is being activated, banishing the Connector.
No, we have... This is Ogia, right? No, it's absolutely not.
Nope, this is Oliver. Best Yu-Gi-Oh players we have currently on the planet, battling it out here for another game of Yu-Gi-Oh. Let's get it going for Pack as well.
Pack is about to start, still taking his time and going immediately into the beautiful museum, taking a look at all the artifacts there.
Yeah, and we saw that Joshua wasn't really relying on hand interactions in his main deck, but he's bringing in a couple of cards from his side deck. Mainly, of course, Drone and Lockbird would be one that is really, really good versus Infernoble, of course. After that first surge of Pakawad, there's nothing happening, though, so I would assume Joshua did not draw that Drone and Lockbird.
Oh, and there was a Red Layer, a card that we haven't seen in a long time. This was around in Goki, and of course, also in its own archetype.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of does the same thing as it did in the Goki deck, which is get an extra warrior monster on the field, make it that much easier to go into an Azul.
It's really interesting and funny, because after his recent success of getting top 4 at the American YCS, he afterwards talked about his deck, and he was saying this was the best card he played.
But he only ran 1.
Yeah, he did. But he was like, this is just a good out to certain scenarios because it doesn't activate or anything. You could just special summon it out, and then mostly against SP, it's a really good answer because you can just summon it out, attack over the SP, and then play in main phase 2. So that's usually his approach because he's running quite a few hand interactions. So a lot of the time his opponent is being stopped early and has to end on some kind of SP field, and then you just go for a red layer, attack over the SP, play in main phase 2. Well, let's see. He uses it to start his combo off, of course. Link 2. What is it going to be? Any guesses?
SP a little
now. Okay, it is Isolde.
Wow.
What a surprise. There she is, using its first effect. And of course, it's also quickly after we're going to use the second effect as well. Again, adding the connector. Okay, do we really need to shuffle or do we just go for the second effect as well?
Yeah, I think in a situation like this, always makes sense to just wait until the end of the turn.
Yeah.
Unless
And look at that, paying cost for the second effect of Isolde 2. How many equip spells are we going to send to the graveyard here?
Is there a chance that he is going to send 3 and summon out Neospatial Aqua Dolphin?
I mean, he just searched it with the Isolde 2, right?
Oh.
Yeah, he just searched connector, so that would leave the connector a bit stranded.
Yeah.
It's true.
1, 2. And again, we saw that in the first Infernoble deck of the day as well. He is running the Angelica's Angelic Ring, recent addition to the deck. And yep, it is 1, 2, 3, but why not just summon out the Aqua Dolphin itself? You don't even need the connector if you can just summon out Aqua Dolphin.
Called it. Also, you can still use the connector to summon it back from the graveyard in the next turn.
Oh, that's cool.
Absolutely. Okay, let's have a look together into the hand of Joshua Schmidt. Double Nibiru, which we cannot destroy here even. And therefore, Pakawat is going to take 500 points of damage. And he has the information. He gets the memo. There is a Nibiru waiting for him there.
Yeah,
well, not
and
just
another one.
And another one as well, yeah.
What were the spell cards on the side of Joshua? This looks like a Runick game to me.
Yep, at least one Runick spell I could see there.
I also saw a copy of Duality.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's running that card.
That's not Pot of Duality, just in case
Nope.
you're wondering.
That wouldn't really match with the rest of the deck, to be honest. But it is just Duality. Also, quite recently released. Has been a little bit longer than like all the Sinful Sports stuff, but still recent this year. Was mainly played in branded decks. That was like its only application. But now we have another deck where it found its home once again.
I would really like to see it because there are probably some cool cards that you can special summon, right?
Yeah, of course, they are.
It's definitely a card that makes you want to build a deck with it.
Yeah.
And you say, okay, what can I do? What can I include to make the best use of this card?
Especially with the Runick cards, you have the ability to, with every card in your deck, basically special summon out a monster that is level 2, 4, or 9 even.
Yeah. Oh, he drew the Phoenix Blade again. Game number 1 and game number 2. Look at the smile of Pak. He knows that's not what you want. That's the classic card to send to Isolde, but both times he had it in his hand already.
How many cards is he playing?
That's a good question, honestly. It's a long list, but it's probably kind of close to 40.
Can you please count it for me? No, you don't have to. Of course, I'm just trying to be annoying.
Okay, so now Joshua, of course, has to consider whether he wants to already go for the Nibiru, because otherwise Appaloosa, of course, is an option for Pakawat here.
Yeah, there's some good mind games, because you kind of know the Nibiru is there, but Pakawat can just kind of play around with it. That Josh knows that he knows that it's there, and you have to think like...
Oh, but Josh wastes no time immediately going for the Nibiru, and now the question becomes, how well can Pakawat still continue after this Nibiru?
I mean, I saw 2 cards in his hand, and those were Ash Blossom and Infinite Impermanence.
Okay.
And those aren't Extender, even though Ash Blossom is a fire attribute.
And the connector, obviously.
Oh, right. Okay, so I guess that is turn end there.
Yeah, seems
Probably.
like it. Sounds like it. But I mean, still, it's decent interruption for Josh's turn then still, so maybe it's not done yet for Pak.
An interruption on a possible duality, because I think duality can also special summon out from the deck if you want to.
Oh, no, wait, it's from the hand, I think. It's extra deck or hand. Let me double check, though, with duality, yeah.
Yeah, it can summon from the extra deck as well.
Yeah, but the question is deck a possibility?
Oh, yeah,
hand
deck.
or extra deck.
It's
Wow.
hand or extra deck, yeah. Yeah, you cannot actually even Ash duality, that's true.
Do you think that he's running a level 10 Dark Rock?
I don't believe so. No, I don't think we can do anything with the Nibiru there.
Is there one?
That's a good question.
Quiz question for you.
Quiz question for next time. Okay. it's over to Joshua. That card sitting there for Pakawat most likely is the Impermanence. Oh, we have one of the regains in our opening hand here for Joshua.
That is not the card that you necessarily want to see. Also because you can't use the freezing curses to banish cards from the opposing deck, but you can go for a Hugin right here and of course discard the Nibiru. And I think that this smells like an impermanence right here, because you actually really want to stop your opponent from getting into this engine and
I think it kind of depends.
He knows the duality is there, right?
Yeah,
so you
was there another runic spell in the hand of Joshua? Because if there was, I agree. We absolutely have to.
Yeah,
we just changed the duality to this bow, and therefore the impermanence is going to resolve without effect.
Oh, that is a really
And
good
that
point,
stare down from Joshua is crucial. He's really giving Pac the vibe that he's just going to take this one down here, and he has no fear whatsoever.
What can you special summon here?
We saw it in the extra deck beginning. I think it's called Alavain, the Essence of Vanity.
Yep, it is indeed Alvain, the Essence of Vanity, which is
Oh,
just
right.
a level 2 tuner.
But
How could you
it is
miss
a
that
level
one?
2 tuner. That is actually kind of
And
insane.
also a fairy, of course, yeah.
It's very possible that Pakawat just didn't know this card existed.
Yeah.
That is indeed possible.
It seems like it's included specifically for this purpose in Josh's deck, but I don't know, like I'd never seen this card before, so it's probably not the kind of card you'd see unless you'd hunted for it already.
There it is. Level 2 tuner has been acquired. Joshua with a smile on his face. Pac cannot really believe what just happened, but Runick Fountain has found its way into the hand of Joshua Schmidt.
I love this so much, especially because it is a tuner. This is a synchro-heavy deck, but it's not that synchro-heavy that you don't have space in the extra deck for Alvain, the Essence of Vanity.
Yep.
This is insanity.
This is a very important card in every extra deck. I think every extra deck should have one. It looks so cool.
That is indeed true. But we are going to see...
And also, let's not forget that Duality has another effect in the graveyard, actually. So, Duality says you can banish this card from your graveyard and then target one light and one dark monster in your graveyard, shuffle both into the deck, and then you can just draw a card. Kind of similar to Chaos Space, and definitely great to acquire additional resources. Maybe just draw into another Runick card. Oh, Runick Destruction as well. He's taking apart the field here completely. No light or dark monster was banished, so Branded Regain is not going to have a way to trigger there right away, but still that's good. Ooh.
That is also really important, because the Noble Arms Museum would be good follow-up in the next turn, would be still able to use another equip spell, but the Ash Blossom on the Runick Fountain for draw 2 is tough right
Yeah,
here.
it was really crucial that Joshua did not banish a light or dark there, because if he would have done that, he could have chain blocked the Runick Fountain, but like that, it didn't work.
Yeah. Now we have the SP Little Knight right here, and now there is a question. Do you want to immediately banish the token, or do you want to use SP Little Knight to banish both of them? And then you have to put it back into your extra deck. I don't think that this is a good idea.
Oh, and look, even Pakawat has to double read the duality. We are going to recycle the Hugin and the Alvain, and we are just going to draw one card. Let's see what it is.
Keep in mind, you can't use the special summon effect of any of the Runick cards now if you draw one, because the SP Little Knight is blocking the extra monster zone.
That is true. But you still have Runick Fountain on the field. Of course, they have multiple effects, and it goes back to Pac. What can he do here? Is there a way for him to come back?
We have the SP Little Knight, and then we have Branded Regained. I don't think that there's a Bystial monster in the graveyard of Joshua Schmidt, but SP Little Knight is now going to stare down.
Do you know what's super cool is the connector.
Oh,
is a light
we
monster.
picked up another copy of Museum there. That's so huge for Pakawat. The first one was destroyed with the destruction, but there's another one.
Yeah, if you normal summon connector, it gets banished by SP, gets put back by Branded Regained.
And you don't even have to worry about the special summon of Connector, because the Neo-Spacian Aqua Dolphin is already banished, and I don't think that Pakawat is playing multiple copies of this.
No, definitely not.
Oh, the Ash Blossom immediately on the Noble Arms Museum. This is looking good for Pakawat. Do you even normal summon the Connector? What could this do for you?
Yeah, when did the Aqua Dolphin get banished?
Way earlier. I think for the
Phoenix Blade?
Probably to add back the Phoenix Blade, yeah, indeed. And the thing is, on the summon of Connector, we can of course not do anything, because Little Knight has to be chained to something else, to another effect or card activation, and therefore, are they just going to clarify how many? Oh, we're double checking maybe. Oh, is Alvain even an effect monster? Maybe that's what they're currently. Alvain is not an effect monster. Does SP Little Knight lead effect monsters? Okay, yeah, the judges just picked up on something. Indeed, you cannot even summon SP Little Knight with Alvain, because Alvain
going right back into the game right here. And
looking good, yeah.
Have we just we have pulled it back, so we are still in the turn of Joshua, who has 2 monsters on the field.
That was like the swiftest reconstruction of a game I've ever seen.
I mean, it wasn't that much. We were lucky that no Runick cards were activated, so we didn't banish anything in between, so that was good. And we found our way back into the situation. I'm pretty sure Joshua just got a warning for that, for not correctly summoning out the SP Little Knight. He didn't have any warnings for that before, so we can just continue with that. And we reconstructed the correct game state there. And it's going back to Pakawat, but without the SP Little Knight. And that's a huge difference there. That makes it a lot easier for Pak to go through this.
Yeah. Now we're going to immediately pack up.
1-1 is the score. Joshua Schmidt, Pakawat, Pamonsuit, one more time. Please give us a great game here.
All right, and we are immediately opening with Quem. I don't know if that is exactly what he wants.
I mean, it's a level 4 tuner.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Yeah, I think this is exactly what he wants. I think Quem plus a Runick spell is exactly... This is giving me quite a lot of deja vu from the first game. There was a Quem and an Effect Veiler.
Get Veiled.
Although last time he waited for the Runick spell and to negate a Hugin, but this time he'd prefer to.
Oh, but there's
negate
Lubalion. That's strong. And look, Pak eyeballing that Ash Blossom. Is he going to react to it?
Oh, and I think the monster that he has in his hand is Neospatian Aqua Dolphin.
It looks
exactly
like it.
The ultimate rare. This is how I found out. He is going to Ash the Lubalion, actually. Is there another Bystial in the hand? No, we are going for the Runick Slumber, I think.
Yes, Runick Slumber is going to be used to special summon out the Hugin. And that's already so much, right? Because you are just going to get the Runick Fountain, but also you now have the potential for a Synchro 6 to go into Tri-Edge Master, draw another card. So I think we're well underway here for Joshua Schmidt in this game number 3.
Do we think because he's just discarded a Runick that he's got a third one in his hand?
I think so.
I mean, that's just devastating if that resolves.
I'm pretty sure that is the case. Runick Fountain, there it is. And there comes the Tri-Edge Master. I'm assuming it is. Yeah. Oh, it's Coral Dragon this time. Okay. And there, of course, is the third Runick spell. It is going to be Flashing Fire. And yeah, we are going into Coral Dragon because Coral Dragon then, together with the Gary we just summoned out, can go into a Synchro 10 again. But before going into a Synchro 10, we are just going to draw 3 cards here for Runick Fountain. That's so good.
And he's also going to draw one for the Baron de Fleur Synchro Summon. So this is 4 draws. Imagine using Veiler and Ash onto your opponent's combo and then just going for a Baron plus draw 4?
Yep. Joshua Schmidt has become a world champion in Master Duel with his Runick cards, and he's doing really, really well with those Runick cards again here today.
Just find one Bystial now and then completely go off, banish that Veiler. No, we are not going to find one of those Bystials. That would have been absolutely insane to also have a regained in there. But now Pak with 4 cards in hand against the world, drawing another Effect Veiler, which is really not ideal.
Something that I really think is sometimes really good against Runick decks is just passing it back over to them, because you know they don't have a battle phase. It's not scary, so maybe just draw another card in your next draw phase, have more resources to play through it, but Pak is starting to play here.
We're going to see Wanted.
Yep, Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils is activated, and Joshua was considering to interact with that, but he decided against it.
I mean, he knows that there's triple tactic talents in the deck of Pakawat. We have seen that in game 1.
Do you think he'd be using this in the draw phase or the main phase?
Depends. If he would have talents, and Joshua knows there's talents, as Leonard was just saying, I think it's nice to kind of scare your opponent, and therefore you just go into the main phase, make them think you have talents, so you kind of play another mind game there.
Also, you almost want to get rolled against Runick, right? I don't think that Runick decks are playing draw necessarily.
Okay, so the Diabellstar Witch comes down here, discarding the Effect Veiler, which we picked up for turn.
So the bad draw of the Effect Veiler does not really matter. And now we are going to go for the Baron de Fleur, destroying the Diabellstar right here.
And now, what's next? Can Pak recover from that? Normal summoning the Aqua Dolphin.
Oh, there are still quite a few cards in the hand of Joshua Schmidt. He has 1 card left. He can't even use the Aqua Dolphin because there are not enough cards in his hand.
That's such a shiny card, I can't even make it out.
Same, to be honest. I think it's either Durendal or Almasi, but it should be Durendal, I think.
No, I think it's
Almasi.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah. This was Almasi, and Almasi gives you Durendal. There we go.
Durendal is a little bit more pointy.
True. It is indeed. So, Almasi into the Durendal, so we can search out another warrior monster, which is really good. But still, Joshua is sitting there with Runick Fountain face up on the field. Oh, first of all, though, we do go for the Typhon.
And I mean, we have seen Typhon plenty of times this tournament, but it always almost seemed like a last resort play. It never seemed like the play you really wanted to go for this turn. That's more like trying to cut your losses.
Yep, okay, back to Josh it is. Only having to deal with the Typhon. We go for another copy of Quem. This time it is, of course, going to resolve as Pac has no other options to interact with Josh there anymore. And there's Nubalia now as well, so we are off and rolling here. This is looking nice for Joshua. There's Runick, the best cards in his deck, basically, just after each other. Joshua Schmidt winning round.